Hold on, stop. Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Okay, Boomer.
Damn millennials. Wow.
Did not know that. Even flirters who are obviously mentally ill.
Oh, this is gonna go downhill real quick.
What is going on? And welcome to Take on the World with
Lexi?
John?
Yeah.
who's gonna say Mike?
And
Mike D.
double digits. Big D.
Ew.
I meant capital D. I mean capital M.
He meant large D. Anyway, here we are.
Get your head out of the gutter.
Here we are once again. Do our thing. We got a couple beer reviews up.
Yeah, thanks to Mike. Mike's doing the beer reviews. He's a beer connoisseur.
And Johnny's got some plans to do some gear reviews. Not beer, some gear.
Not beer, but gear. Because I definitely looks like I get out in the wilderness.
Yeah, you sure look like it.
And
living on the woods, living off the land.
Maybe Lexi will do a nerd review. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, shit. I forgot my Mike and Ike's.
That means that somebody has to get me something really cool.
You could just review something really cool that you already have.
It's not the same.
Yeah, what about
you get
that?
New beer.
I got that German World War II helmet. You could review that.
That's more gear.
That's kind of gear.
No.
That's not really nerd.
Oh, that's gear.
You, okay. I beg to differ.
How you liking that?
That's like a history nerd thing that's kind of different.
Not into it?
I like it. Like, I like learning about it and everything, but I don't know a lot about it.
Right, when I started researching it, I was like, holy fuck. Like, there are so many different types of German helmets.
Yeah.
They all changed, like, the little slight differences here and there. And
the history guy does a good review, good history of Navy caps, Army, military hats.
Is that the one I sent you?
No.
That was pretty interesting, though, that thing I sent you about the, ooh. Boing! I have a fucking eyeballs! Spring let loose! The origins of the Navy cap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You watched that, right?
Yes. It was very close to similar to the history guys, because some guy had sent him one of a special Navy hat, which is a different color, and he was explaining all the Navy hats of colors and
touching back to one of our older episodes of the snipers.
Yes.
And apparently, I wish I would have known this when I was doing my research, but doing other shit. I didn't know that in the American Civil War that they actually started dressing snipers in all green instead of, the Union had blue and it was dark blue, and the South the Confederates had gray, and that was their early form of camouflage. And then the snipers, once they started doing that, they're like, fuck, we're going to blend it in the shit more. The wilderness better, so they started dressing in green. And I had no idea that there was actually soldiers with green uniforms, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's the first I've ever heard that.
Yeah. I forget where there's some.
That's just a preview of what John's going to be doing on the podcast from now on. Talking about different uniforms.
But the
German helmets and uniforms.
The extra content that we're doing is like 5 or 6, 10 minutes maybe. Just running through whatever interests us and whatever.
Oh,
Lexi will find her niche.
Can we mention other podcasts out here?
I guess.
I listened to a really good podcast when I was waiting in line to pick my daughter up at school.
We've mentioned Brohio like 50,000 times.
Yes, Brohio is definitely one of them. And it was Theories of the Third Kind.
Never heard of it.
It's 2 guys and a girl.
Is that like aliens and shit?
Well, they kind of do like the same thing we do. Like, they just cover everything. Like, the one I was listening to.
Oh, so they copy off us.
Yes.
Wow.
The one was the strange noises. So they were covering the strange noises in the air, the bloop sound.
We covered the bloop.
Yeah. And,
Did you ever?
But yeah, they were fun to listen to. They
can do that today.
They got a flow together
Yeah.
that makes it interesting. Unlike how I present things, I jump from like 1 to 10, back to 9.
Yeah,
all over the place.
How you liking that Shiner candy
good.
pecan? That is pretty good.
It's really nice. It's kind of like it has like a little bit of like a toasty kind of flavor, like a really nutty flavor, but it's like still got like a sweetness. It's not like really bitter.
Yeah, I definitely get the pecans, and then that sweetness covers the little bit of bitter at the end of the border.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
I did this review already.
I wouldn't know.
I just did another review.
There's one in there.
Is there?
Dude, this is
my man.
There's one in there.
We like all asked you if you wanted any.
No.
And you were like, no.
No.
I have to go pee.
Yeah, I have to go urinate.
God.
Where's your thumb pump?
Out back.
Anyway, so what else is going on?
It fucking snowed again last night.
Yeah. I'm about sick of snow.
Mm-hmm.
And well, at least we didn't have to shovel it this time. It just kind of melted away.
Well, now it's just everything's just a muddy mess now.
Yeah. The one dog brought in, it was like muddy footprints everywhere. I was like, oh fuck.
Which one?
The white devil.
The white devil?
Yeah.
We have one of those.
Hank just wants to sleep.
I love Hank.
Hank's awesome.
I miss Hank.
You got to get a picture of him here.
You ever see a picture of Hank?
No.
Hank's cool dog. Cool pity.
Auntie.
So, while he's looking for that picture.
That's a good boy. Look at how still he is. Well, Steel dog. He's a little wan Steel.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, that meme you sent.
Yeah.
Oh, look, that's my buddy.
Look how pretty he is. Oh my goodness. Look at that boy.
Big boy.
He got a big, big head.
Big chunky wedge head.
He's the biggest baby ever, though. You see that one? Did I say that to you?
Yeah, you did. So this week we're covering strange happenings in Pennsylvania.
In Kentucky.
I wanted to do something a little different. And I looked up, there's a couple good websites to find strange happenings in your state. I'll probably link them in the description. But the first one we have here is Raymere Hollow, or the Hex House, which is down in York.
York, not too far from here.
Not too far from here at all. It says Shrewsbury, but if you look it up, it's Stewartstown, so it's kind of between the two.
Shrewsbury.
I will preface this by saying that this is private property. The house is still there. If you go there, you might get shooed away or shot at, or there were some strange happenings with trespassers there. We'll get to towards the end of this. But Nelson Raymere, in November of 1928, was murdered in the house. And supposedly that's where the source of the haunting is, if you can call it a haunting. Nelson was a powwow doctor. You know what that is?
No.
You know what that is? I never knew what powwow was. I thought it was like an Indian thing, but
fucking racist.
Yeah, no, isn't it just like a kind of like a witch doctor, but
yeah, similar to that. Basically,
a shaman.
Yeah, a shaman,
a faith healer, or an herbalist healer. It's a Pennsylvania Dutch thing, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. A chow chow doctor?
Pow wow.
Chow chow?
Not chow chow. I don't like chow chow. So these people would heal the sick. They were called powwow doctors or hex doctors.
Does that have anything to do with the hex signs? The old Pennsylvania Dutch hex signs?
Honestly, until you said that didn't connect the two.
Like, why the fuck are they called hex signs, you know?
Well, you could do that on your topic.
I don't know, for any of you that are listening don't know what a hex sign is, Pennsylvania Dutch hex sign. It's like they're typically found on top of like a big barn. And it's usually like two birds.
They're special birds too. They're
two birds and flowers and stuff.
What kind of partridges?
But, no, I always now that I think about it, that was always supposed to be good luck.
Well, each one means something different.
Right, but I think they were put above your barn for good luck.
We have one in our kitchen. But maybe the hex doctors and hex signs have a connection. I'll have to look into that. But they used religious charms to cast out evil influences. That witches, from the witches at the time, would cast spells on people. And these guys would cast out their evil influences from man and beast. So if your cow went dry, if you didn't blame the Jersey Devil, you blamed a witch, and the powwow doctor could make your cow milk again. So, anyway, this Nelson Raymare. So this other powwow doctor, John Blymeyer. Mm-hmm. He didn't believe that Nelson was a powwow doctor. He felt he was a witch, and he thought that this Nelson put a curse on him. So he goes to a witch and asks a witch advice on how to get this curse removed from him.
Isn't he the one who's supposed to remove curse?
Yeah. So, well, he can't remove this witch's curse, I guess. I don't know. So he sought advice of the Nellie Knoll, known as the Marietta River Witch. And she said, what you need to do is you need to get a lock of his hair, cut it off, and burn it. And then you need to take his copy of his spell book, The Long Lost Friend, you need to burn that too. And
so they take him, kill him, and burn him as well.
Well, that's
how
what
do you
happened.
Get rid of a witch, John?
You burn him?
Yeah.
Obviously,
bro.
Thanks for blowing up the spot, because that's exactly what they did.
Are you serious?
Yes, they did.
No, they did not.
This John Blymeyer and two assailants broke into Raymeyer's home, confronted him. The three men violently assaulted him, beating him, strangling him, and then they burned his body to ensure that the murder would not be traced back to them. Despite the intensity of the fire, Nelson's body did not burn, which in John Blymeyer's consciousness says, well, that proves he's a witch, because he didn't burn.
They burn witches at the stake, and witches are supposed to float, and...
Yeah.
So, what's going on here?
If you float, you're guilty. If you sink and drown,
you're innocent.
And that's why they burned witches, because if they floated...
They couldn't drown them.
They couldn't drown them, so they had to burn them, because what floats? Wood. You saw Monty Python. If she floats, she's made of wood. If she's made of wood, she burns.
Oh, God.
That's right. Ducks and very small rocks.
So, all three of these men stood trial. They were convicted and eventually released.
Well, how'd they get caught?
Well, it doesn't say.
They must have been pretty fucking retarded.
Listen.
Well, the body did, so at least someone came upon it.
Spark notes. Okay.
Spark what?
They're now arrested. We don't know how, but they're now arrested.
I want to know how.
That's where we are right now. I mean, obviously somebody who had to have found the body, right?
Yeah, that's what the body. The house. The house itself is right off a road, so it's.
What the hell were they trying to burn?
So the house had burned. They burned his house down.
No, they didn't burn the house down. They made a fire, threw him on the fire.
They put the tinder on him. They're trying to spark it with the with the barrel rod,
the flint and steel.
Flint and steel. Damn it!
They have their sticks.
He must be a witch. I give up. We'll turn myself in.
That's it. We ain't having hot dogs tonight. No marshmallows, guys.
Of marshmallows.
So the house where this all took place is surrounded by tales of paranormal activity now, which I think this and a couple of the others that we have here today, I think it's more in people's heads. You know something bad happened here, and you expect there to be paranormal activity. You're told there's paranormal activity, so
yeah. I know the older I get, the more shit that I've seen. I agree with you on that. It's like you let your head play with you, especially if you get into like a weird, like a place like that, or a scary place, and your mind just plays tricks on you. You just like runs wild, and
yeah, I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
but Yetis are real, John.
Yes, I'm telling you, if we go to that place, we're gonna see that. We're gonna see if it didn't burn down.
Yes.
Well, there was just fires.
If it didn't burn down, conveniently burned down.
Y'all make fun of me.
So what John's talking about is John and I, more than likely,
and I don't think it burned down. I think that side is fine.
We'll be going on a Colorado elk hunting trip later this year,
September,
and Colorado, in the place where he hunted at one time, is where he saw the Yeti structure.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was till I started listening to David Paulides and his Missing 411 books, and I got super interested in those. And that I just walked by this thing. I'm like, wow, what the hell is this? So
you had no preconceived notion, which leads me to believe that whatever you saw, there was a structure there. I don't doubt that at all.
That was huge.
And
I just thought if college students built it to like live in.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you had gone out there and you were this hardcore Bigfoot Sasquatch guy and you came back and said you saw a Yeti structure, I'd be more leery of what you actually saw. It just looks like
a big teepee. It's like just sticks, like not sticks, but fucking like big logs like that, like even bigger than that.
Trees.
They're aspen trees. Just laid on top in a teepee fashion. You can walk right into the front of it and like hang out in the center of it. There's nothing like covering it, so you can see out.
How long ago was that?
Oh God, the last time I was out there was 4 years ago.
I hope it's not rotted away.
I don't see how it could be.
I'm excited for the trip. I'm more excited to possibly see that.
I'm more excited if it's still there, to see how out of breath you are when we get up there.
Oh, dude. I got to work on that.
It's a fucking, it's a haul to get. It's it. You can do it, but it's a haul. It's hard getting around up there. We might. I thought of this though. We might do good because we've been wearing a mask, which makes it like harder to breathe. So that might give us an edge.
Oh, ever since the Rona, dude, my wind sucks.
Yeah, but Mike, you gotta go for it, man.
Oh, I'll go for it.
Yeah.
I'm not someone who quits at things. So.
No, I know you're not. I'm just saying, like, you got to test yourself. Like, what do I got?
But
like,
I'm telling you straight, here's my witness. We have a millennial witness. If I say I can't go any further, don't you fucking leave me behind.
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
I'll never say to you, go on without me.
Here's my locator.
What? Go on without you.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
No, we won't do that. Like when I was up there last time with my dad, and he had called me. He's like, "Oh, I got bad news. I had a couple stints put in, and like, I don't know if I can make it." But he ended up pulling through, and he did fine. And I said, "No, you know, Dad, just take it slow. We'll take a couple steps up. You stop. You know, catch your breath, get your heart rate back down to normal." And that's what we did. We had a great time. It wasn't an issue at all. So you'll be fine.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think the fact that like you'll probably be so excited and like your adrenaline will probably be like higher, just being in that situation. Like you probably won't even have an issue. I'm sure maybe like sometimes because we all got to stop and like, holy fuck, like I can't like run uphill. But yeah.
Well, I know when we went to St. Croix, we walked up a hill to a lighthouse, and it was a hike.
Yeah.
And I got to the top, And I told everybody I saw the lighthouse. I'm gonna start heading down because it was gonna take me a while to get down. And I started down like 10 minutes before them, and they reached the bottom just the same time I did.
But definitely, start taking small walks here and there.
Well, I'm just gonna start walking up this hill.
Yeah, I mean, don't kill yourself at first. Just
I will.
Okay.
ease yourself in.
Anyway,
I would do too. I would take like a 5-pound weight, hold it in your hand, simulate the bow, holding the bow.
I don't really need to add any extra weight right now.
Just saying.
Maybe I'll just get my crossbow out and carry it up the hill with me.
Just walking down the.
That's got to be heavier than a regular bow, don't you think?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's got the stock on it and everything.
Yeah, but you can change the weight of your bow.
What if you turn your crossbow to the side?
Will they let me use it then? Because you can't use a crossbow out there.
No, I just got the paperwork last night in the mail, the magazine, and it said it literally didn't say anything about handicap or nothing. It said elk season, archery, no crossbows at all.
You can use a crossbow out there during any season that is a rifle season.
Yes. So, yeah, we might be doing a live podcast, maybe from the Denver
airport, doing the Denver airport conspiracy.
I've never looked at the airport so huge. I've been there a
Denver
million
the airport
times.
with the big horse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you'll see that driving out. And that horse killed the owner like the first day you put it up on display.
Yeah.
Like fell over and killed the owner.
hmm
Right, yeah.
I was in that airport.
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
When you went to Seattle?
On my way home, yeah.
I've been there
But I didn't go outside, so I didn't see it.
probably 20 times, and I've never seen the post-apocalyptic mural where it's like the guy in like the overcoat, gas mask with the gun, like
Yeah.
pointing at all the kids and all the other weird shit. What is it? The Mason stuff.
Yeah, there's Freemason stuff there.
Yeah, little plaques that say all kinds of weird crap.
Yeah. That's another good weird one.
We are. We're going to do it at the Denver airport.
Oh.
Yes.
Hopefully we have our travel recorder with us. So, some of the weird stuff that's been seen by this house. Some tell of seeing a dog with red eyes in the trees.
Cute.
While others have seen UFOs in the area of the Ramare house. The thing is don't all dogs' eyes glow red when the light hits them? They glow.
Yeah. I mean, so do ours. You don't have that, like, if you ever take a picture of our eyes, and then,
Yeah.
what the hell is that shit?
Flash.
Yeah, like the red.
The red eye reduction?
Red eye, yeah. I was going to say red be gone. I was close.
But so, like, I don't find that to be, like, indicative of supernatural.
You said dick.
If you're adventurous and go looking for the house to view it from afar because it's on private property, there's been claims that people have gone by and thrown rocks at the house, and the house has thrown rocks back.
So it's like Monster House.
Yes.
Okay.
They're claims. I don't know if it's true.
The other thing is that like there are like official like government documents recorded about UFOs, so it's like not surprising me anymore.
Well, a UFO doesn't mean extraterrestrial. A UFO is just an unidentified flying object. It could be a Russian plane that we have not identified yet. That would be a UFO. It does not mean alien.
Right.
I think there are some that are confirmed that are.
I do not.
I think so. I'll look it up.
I do. What the hell was that government letter that came out? They basically said, like, in the 50s, like, yeah, there was UFOs flying over the White House back in the 50s, and we covered it up. And for some weird reason, Russian and American reports have said that they have a very strong interest in flying over like a bases that have like the nuclear weapons.
Nathan was just watching something on that today.
And there was one in America that says basically they came over and they shut everything down.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly what he was just watching.
We couldn't launch a weapon. We couldn't do anything. It was shut down.
They said in the United States it shut everything down.
Yeah.
In Great Britain it did something else. And it
made a cup of tea.
In Russia, it actually set off the launch codes and it was ready to launch. And it said it was within a minute of launching and then the UFO disappeared and everything stopped.
Yeah.
Nathan just watched that.
Yeah. What was that on the History Channel? No, they don't play shit like that anymore.
It might have been on Sci-Fi. It could have been on the History Channel.
No,
they still do like
do they?
Unsolved Mysteries.
This was Stories of the Unexplained or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know. But here's one for you.
The Mystery of Pittsburgh's Ghost Bomber. January 31st, 1956. At the height of the Cold War, an American military B-52 Mitchell's bomber. Was this that same thing that crashed out in the Bermuda Triangle that we talked about before?
No.
No?
No, that was Flight 19.
Yeah, I know that, but the same plane.
No.
Same kind of plane.
No, this was a bomber. Those were different types of planes.
Okay. Crashed into the icy Pittsburgh River, sparking one of Pennsylvania's most interesting and enduring and unsolved mysteries. Major William Dotson and 5 crew. Oh, you were telling me about this.
Oh my God! I listened to something about this. This guy's like crazy.
Who?
Isn't one of the? There's like I think there's like somebody in this that is like kind of like wacky.
Well, the whole story's fucking wacky. What you were telling me.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, how can that be? Wait a minute. All right, let's get to the minutia.
See, I don't understand this flight path that they were doing, though.
Maybe they were drunk.
They were flying from Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada to pick up parts at Olmsted Air Force Base in Harrisburg. That's in Harrisburg?
That's what it says.
But
it's a routine training flight.
Right. So, but they stopped in Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma. So you went from Nevada to Oklahoma
to refuel.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't really that far for a bomber.
No, so they went. They knew they couldn't make it straight through, so they went boop, stopped, and then came up.
They made a boopsies.
Mm-hmm. They just stopped for gas at a point that they knew.
And Mike and Ike's.
I can make it from there.
He's and Mike and Ike's.
So it says around 4 p.m., the crew reported a loss of fuel. Oh, I see where you're saying that. So they went all the way from Oklahoma, and they got to Pittsburgh before they said they were losing fuel. Oklahoma to refuel. Maybe they were like doing loop-de-loops all over the place. Fucking just doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
What I read was
I mean, if you were like 20 years, I know these guys are very respectable, very professional men, and I don't want to talk shit about them, but come on. If I was like 23 and had my own fucking jet, what would you do? I know, I did some stupid shit. So
yeah, we're not going to ask that question.
There was a whole lot of holding my beer. So they're losing fuel. They're losing fuel on their way from Oklahoma to Pittsburgh, which is pretty much the end of Ohio. No, they were going to Harrisburg.
Right.
They were losing fuel around Pittsburgh.
Oh.
And they realized they weren't going to make it to the Pittsburgh airport.
To the Harrisburg airport.
To the Harrisburg airport.
When they got to Pittsburgh, they asked for permission to land in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And they said, we're not going to make it. We need something closer. So that's when they asked for permission to land at Allegheny County Airport.
Hmm.
So go ahead. At 4:11.
At 4:11, his fuel supply was completely empty. His engine malfunctioned, and no available airstrips nearby. Dotson was forced to make a hard decision. Very hard. I figured you'd like that. That was hard. He silently glided over the Homestead high-level bridge, now the Homestead Grays Bridge. I have no idea where that is.
It's in Homestead.
Alaska?
No.
Dotson made a wheels-up landing into the Monongahela Monongahela River. This is where you threw me for a what the fuck. Near Glenwood Bridge in Hayes. 6 crew members survived the crash, although only 4 were rescued from the 34-degree water.
Yeah. So what happened is they crashed. They come down by this bridge. They belly down into the river.
Sure.
The plane is still floating.
Yeah.
It didn't break apart and sink. So they stayed with the plane for 11 minutes.
Yeah.
They stayed with the plane for 11 minutes, and it started sinking, so they had to abandon the plane. So now they're in the icy water.
But everyone survived the crash.
Everyone survived the crash itself.
Oh, so 2 people died in the water.
Well, with the next paragraph there.
Captain Gene Ingram and Staff Sergeant Walter Saucy. Saucy?
Soci?
Sockeye?
Suki?
It could be sockeye.
I like sockeye.
Yeah.
Drowned while attempting to swim to shore. Their bodies were not found till months later.
Months later.
I mean, you said this fucking river is only like 12 feet deep.
20.
Hold on. Am I getting ahead of myself?
You are getting ahead of yourself. Hang on, let me see how deep it was. It's down here. The river's only 20 foot deep. In its deepest spots. The bomber itself is 15 feet high from belly to top of the fuselage. That's not even to the top of the rear wing.
Right. How does this thing? Was it a flood year?
No. It was just cold weather.
Well, maybe snow melt?
Well, like, if the water is 34 degrees, it's almost freezing.
So the plane didn't.
Your body is shaking. Like, your body is tightening and convulsing.
Oh, yeah.
Cold.
Oh, they went into hypothermia pretty quick.
What do they say? Like, if you jump into icy waters like that, you basically have like 2 minutes to live.
Yeah.
That they still saved 4 of the guys. So the Coast Guard, you could see the plane at first. They knew where it was because this Coast Guard cutter went out and was trying to hook it. And they actually did hook it. But the hook slid off the wing, and then it went down and was never seen again.
Did a Coast Guard boat that went in the river?
Coast Guard cutters, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You have them in Pittsburgh. You have them in New York. You have them
like big lakes and like rivers.
On like Lake Erie. Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
I know. There's
when I was up in
military boats on Lake Michigan.
When I was up in Canada years ago, it was holy shit! What the hell was the name of the Big Rideau Lake? And I remember a couple times there'd be Canadian military planes flying overhead, and you see their Coast Guard pulling in, and they'd be pulling a dead body out of the lake. Like, just lakes are crazy, man. Like, you don't mess around with lakes. Like, no. I've known a couple people that have drowned in lakes. And
a lot of people are like afraid of fire and stuff, but like water is just as dangerous if you don't know how to swim, if you are in the wrong type of water, if you don't know how to navigate.
Yep.
So that's something you think about.
Or if you're not paying attention to the temperature,
right.
you're cocky or whatever.
And Katie will tell you that my underwater navigation skills need a little work.
Just a little bit. All right, so where are we at?
Right here.
The 14 days after the U.S. Coast Guard and the Army Corps of Engineers searched for the bomber, but it was never recovered.
Nope. That's the story. It was never recovered. There are conspiracy theories
that it was at the Nellis Air Force Base.
It was a. Well, we'll get down to it.
The bomber stands. You want me to skip that?
Nope.
The bomber stands 15 foot high, and the river is only 20 feet deep. So
how the fuck you lose a plane in that?
Ouch! Sorry.
Like, really?
I would.
Ah.
I know they say
you're talking a difference of 5 feet of water
Yeah, but I know they say it's only 20 foot deep. But you're talking winter. There might have been snow melt. Pittsburgh in that area gets a lot of snow.
Yeah, they do.
The lake effect. So
I'm assuming the 20 foot deep was at that time.
It could have been a lot higher. We don't know.
I'm assuming that when they say it was 20 foot deep, it was that day. It was 20 foot deep.
You know what my mother says?
No.
Never assume.
Never assume. Makes an ass out of you and me.
You and me.
Well, I don't think that it would ever be more than 20 feet deep because it's 20 feet from the top to the bottom. Like, you can't hold any more water than that.
Well, you can rise up on the banks. You probably get another 6-7 foot.
Dude, the Swatara River is only like, I pass it going over here, and that fucker rose like almost 40 feet.
How?
When we were in Costa Rica, when that hurricane came through,
Yeah.
and they said that the river now this bridge towers over this river. They showed pictures of the river over top of the bridge. Like the bridge was covered.
My ex-brother-in-law's house was underwater.
Wow.
And he was up here, and you'd have to walk like maybe 15, 20 feet down to the top of the river, and then the river was down here, and they had that one bad flood years ago, and it took everything out. And it's not a very big river.
No, that's what I'm thinking.
Now, the Monongahela is a big river.
So I can only imagine. This thing's...
That's true.
I bet...
But to find nothing from the plane.
Nothing at all, ever.
You think you could dredge it or like see down into it?
Well, one of the theories is right here.
Many believe the pollution in the river corroded the aluminum exterior to the aircraft decades ago. Only steel engines and landing gear remain. I don't believe that.
No.
Like, how much fucking corrosion?
It's near Pittsburgh. You're getting a lot of runoff.
And back then, the steel industry was huge out there.
Yeah.
You don't know what was be dumped in that river.
True, but...
And aluminum does not withstand the test of time. I dove that plane wreck in Saipan, and the only thing that was there was steel parts. The aluminum fuselage was almost completely rusted away. That was World War II. And that's not polluted water. It's just...
Except for aluminum does the rust, Michael.
Yes, it does. Everything rusts.
No.
They don't call it rust. It's oxidation.
There you go.
Same thing. Wrong. It's the same
rust
thing.
Rust is oxidation.
Thank you, John. Thank you for your interjection.
I just want to fight with somebody.
Okay.
I just want to argue with you.
We can argue. So some people say that it was carrying some dangerous or mysterious cargo, and the military secretly recovered the plane and never told anybody.
Yeah, but you gotta think that like somebody would have seen it. There's no way that they could have kept that like covered up.
That's what I think.
Why would they cover it up though?
Because if it's carrying something that you don't want the people to know about, the government will cover it up.
Here's reasons why you would cover it up right there.
See, Soviet agents to Las Vegas. Wait.
They were covering it up because the plane was carrying Soviet agents to Las Vegas. Or they were carrying Soviet agents, or it was covered up because of Las Vegas showgirls that were being brought in to entertain senators in Washington, D.C. It's two separate thoughts there.
Yeah.
It's just the way it's written.
Okay.
So now they've gone out with side scan sonar, remote controlled underwater cameras, and there's a group that does this, and they've never found any wreckage or anything from it. Just like
weird.
That
Maybe
flight
they blew it up.
Just like that Flight 19. There's a guy that is every area that it could have crashed. He's doing side scan sonar to find Flight 19 planes.
Well, what about the survivors? What do they say?
They don't.
Are they all dead?
Probably now.
Like, hey, yeah, we actually did crash it in the river, or I don't know.
It's confirmed the plane crashed in the river. That was confirmed. There's no doubt about it. The plane crashed in the river. I have. Let me see if I have it here. Actual reports from. Good. I have.
Hey, did that guy ever get back to you from the newspaper?
Yes, actually, he did.
What did he say?
They're still not in the office. What he sent me is the only thing he could send me. He couldn't get anything else because there's nobody in the office because of COVID.
Mm.
Huh.
But it was cool that he got back to me.
Go in.
What's that?
Tell him to lock the door. I'll go in.
Yeah. So this is the newspaper article of the crash in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
Huh.
It says it barely cleared the Homestead high-level bridge.
See, you'd think it would be like right there. Why can't they find it?
This is the plane that crashed. Not the exact plane, but that type of plane.
It's a big plane.
Yeah, that's a big plane. I don't see how you couldn't find that.
Like, from down here, or to top of this is 20 feet. It doesn't even count these.
Yeah.
Like, that's another 8-10 foot. Those should be sticking out of the water.
Yeah.
So the theory is they ran out of gas and
they like glided. They like glided down into the river.
The likelihood is there was either a big fuel line leak, or when they got refueled, someone didn't close the fuel door.
Had to be, because how? How can you not make it that far? That's a big plane, but that's not like an aircraft carrier or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that big compared to other planes, the passenger flight or something.
This is the book that they were supposed to burn when they killed that other guy.
I should buy that. Let's read it.
Nah, I'd rather not.
Oh, but it's art for remedies.
This is the report, the military report from the crash.
That's a lot of redacted.
Stuff. Yeah,
not a lot. Just a little bit.
Too much for my liking. Any is too much.
Why was it redacted, Mike?
Yeah. How about we be honest with our people?
Top secret.
Top secret.
Here, well, this says the river depth varies from 25 to 35 feet. So that differs from that report.
Right. Estimated 15 minutes.
15 minutes in 34 degree water? Whew.
That's how long the aircraft stayed afloat. The aircraft. But like, something, that the aircraft was sinking, something. The crew and passengers to remove their shoes and swim to a log, something, floating nearby.
Well, this is probably whoever ordered them to remove their shoes and swim. So he can't be held accountable for an order given because he's following protocol.
Right.
That sometimes that it's as simple as that is why they redact something.
So what's all the stuff before it about?
I know what it says. I can't tell you though, because if I told you, there'd be heavy consequences.
It's because you don't know what it says. Like, I don't know. It just seems like that's a weird part. Like, what could you redact there? That's a weird part to redact something from. And I think that's why, like, conspiracy theorists, even though sometimes they're really crazy, every once in a while you're like, ooh.
That's why they gain footage, because something is being held back
the unknown.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they either had Soviets on the way to go see hookers, or hookers on the way to go see senators.
So what do you guys think? Is it some kind of cover-up, or is it just one of those things that the plane sank and it just hasn't been found?
I'm always inclined to believe that there's a cover-up.
I don't know why they would cover that up, because some hillbilly, some fucking hillbilly in Pittsburgh around there is going to see that fucker or go out there and, hey, whoa, look what I found!
Right, so...
diggity dog, I got me a plane!
Yeah, unless they dug it up and never told anybody and, like, took it off, or it never crashed there, or...
No, it crashed.
It definitely crashed.
They just don't give a shit. Like, we don't really care, like, man, we know the guy survived and 2 drowned. We got them all, fuck it. There was nothing on the plane. We don't care. It's not worth
Well,
our
the
time.
plane was
to
on
pick
its
it
way
up.
to pick up parts, but it was empty at that point.
Yeah, so maybe it wasn't worth their
Supposedly.
time to go pick it up. And
Maybe it had the Ark of the Covenant in
Maybe it did. Maybe.
it.
No.
Indiana Jones.
maybe it had Ted Nugent's bow inside of it.
Maybe. Maybe it was a collection of all kinds of firsts.
Maybe it had.
It wasn't going to Harrisburg. Maybe it was going to Reading.
Berks County.
Maybe it had
Great Shoey.
the ciphers for the Zodiac.
Oh,
That was 56.
before it happened?
Yeah. Oh, it was the ciphers before it happened.
Yeah, he had
dig
it
it.
all
That's a
planned out.
I
conspiracy.
dig it.
It was just some real like old guy that took his time and like got real buff and big and like strong.
Was this Navy or Air Force?
Air Force.
That was Air Force. Or it could have been Army.
They said Air Force, I think.
Did it?
Pretty sure. Maybe it was Army.
I don't think it said.
The
No,
bomb.
wait,
Well, no,
so
they
Air
stopped at
Force.
Air Force bases.
Yeah, it's an Air Force.
If it was an Army plane, they
Because
would have landed at Army bases.
In World War II, it was still considered the Army Air Force. They were still one branch. And then after World War II, they split off.
This is 56, so it's after.
All right. So next we're going to talk about Tales of the Blue Mist Road. Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. Just outside Pittsburgh in Gibson. Are you whispering about me?
No, I gotta pee.
I gotta go pee.
I have a weak bladder. I'm sorry, people.
Oh my God, just go.
Can we pause this?
I'm not pausing. I'm going to keep going. You go pee.
Yeah, we'll just do this without you. Be quiet.
And on your way back, you stop and get me a beer. That's your punishment.
Anyways, just outside Pittsburgh.
Oh, now you want to eat.
Just outside Pittsburgh in Gibsonia, Pennsylvania, is Irwin Road, which is also known as the Blue Mist Road. It's said that most nights there's a deep blue mist that covers the path.
Can I proffer a question?
Go ahead.
Doesn't most fog look kind of bluish
I think it looks.
in the moonlight?
I think it looks white.
Yeah.
Or gray. Yeah.
Gray, blue, gray.
Not so much blue.
I wonder
Right.
how blue they say it is.
It says deep blue.
It could be like a deep gray.
No, if it says deep blue, I'm thinking like a navy.
Dark out. How you gonna see navy in the dark?
How are you gonna see anything in the dark?
Well, you can see fog in the dark.
So there were reports of strange lights, spooky sounds, and the feeling of a dark presence that had taken over the road.
What do you think, John? Oh, he's not back yet.
Strange creatures that came out at night and scare people away. True? Not true? Who knows? But the road is full of local legends, and it's the perfect spot for some late night fright.
So this is what I was saying before with the other one.
Yeah.
Is it just a spot that's real spooky and it lends itself to stories? Or are these people really seeing stuff? Are they convincing themselves that they're seeing something?
I think it's probably a little bit of both, because I don't think that it can be that active. Like in a lot of like the kind of like the ghost hunting groups and communities, a lot of people will tell you that like they've gone to places that are supposed to be extremely active and they've seen nothing. And then there are other places where they go that there's like nothing about them anywhere and they're super, super active. And a lot of that has to do with because they also say that that interaction between, you know, like whatever supernatural thing and like people is like electricity. So at some point they're not going to have anything else to pull from. When there's all those people there, sometimes you would think you're like, oh, there's more there, but I'm interrupting.
I'm listening. I just gave him the no finger.
But
Just get me one of the yeah.
So I think it could be either. And like I don't know. The only places that would be that active are places that are like typically they're like pinpointed as locations where there are some extremely negative energy there or something.
I've reviewed this beer too.
I had that beer before you.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I had it last summer.
I had it last summer. I had it at Pep.
Yeah, I had it last summer.
3 years ago.
It was now 3 years ago.
I had it last summer. It was right from the brewery.
Yes, I had it before that Mom got it. I was the one who told her.
Chuck's brother-in-law brought some. That's why I got it.
I think I had it before you.
You can think that, and that's cool.
I do. So anyways,
hey, our podcast therapy's dog's here.
Yay, the baby's here.
And John's back.
Great.
Welcome back, John.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show, John. We were just talking about scary bump in the night stories.
Yeah, pretty good. So from witches to ghosts, much more of the road's history remains unknown. Irwin Road was originally a dirt path or trail created in the early 1800s. As time went on, the legends grew, but the road did not. Today, a 5-mile stretch has
never been paved.
Never been paved.
Never. So, since it's been around since the 1800s, you know
something's happened there.
Some freaky shit's happened there.
Yeah.
And people buy into that. And then anything old like that, people, don't you do it.
What?
I thought you were going to shotgun that.
No. What's wrong with you, man?
Why did you do that?
It's a breather hole.
Oh, you're weird.
It helps the glug.
You're so smelly.
Thank you.
Gross.
And you are so smelly.
Michael.
Along the path are huge trees and old foundations where homes used to stand. Some say one of those homes belonged to a witch practicing black magic who opened portals to dark dimensions on a daily basis, filling the land with dread and evil.
Your ass is vile.
Oh, you think you're so fucking perfect?
Jesus. Oh, you know what? I never...
Payback.
You want to plug that light in?
No, I'm good.
All right. Are you afraid you're going to run out your pants if you get up?
I think so.
Another of the homes is to be suffering from what? So
another
it
one of the
causes
homes
you to suffer from severe depression?
Yes.
Okay. One night
Hold
after
on. There was a family there. The father was suffering from severe depression.
You thought I cut you off.
Okay.
He's the worst.
Are you kidding me? I'll just throw these fucking headphones right across the room.
Look at this.
Oh. Ali!
So, the father was suffering from depression.
Yeah.
He came home after being laid off from work.
Okay.
And supposedly murdered the entire family.
Mm-hmm.
And dumped their bodies into the septic tank to hide them.
Hey.
And I guess he was never caught.
Wow.
Because they didn't find the bodies till years later. The home was destroyed and the tank was removed. Why would you take the septic tank out if you burn the home down?
It didn't burn down.
Well, destroyed. How was it destroyed?
Like maybe they demolished it or something.
But still, why would you take the septic tank out? They didn't build anything else there, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Just weird. Anyway, the bones were discovered in a septic tank.
Maybe they had maybe they heard that something was in there.
Maybe.
Like, yeah, I want to check this out before we,
We'll never know. Around 1915, rumors say that the KKK became attracted to this area.
That will be the Ku Klux Klan.
Yep. Likely due to the area's past and being in the secluded woods. It's said that they used the area for lynching.
And it wasn't just lynching people of color. It was lynching people of different, probably Jews.
Yeah.
Or anybody who, I don't know what these people believe. How anybody can live their life hating that much, I don't know. But whoever they hated and lynched, they hung them there.
Yeah. Those spirits have haunted the area ever since. According to a legend, a visitor drove up the dirt road, would honk their horn 3 times to summon the spirits of the dead, who would make noise, appear as balls of light, or materialize as full apparitions. In the 1970s, a young couple attempted this for fun until they heard noises from the woods and the deep blue mist rolled in. They got scared, tried to drive away, but could not start the car. The boyfriend got out of the car and looked under the hood. After a few minutes, the girl heard a loud thud. She called out, but he didn't answer.
So instead of getting out and checking on him, she locked the doors and fell asleep.
I would have.
I'm just going to lock the doors and go to sleep.
I'm not tired. Told you to take me home.
After a few hours, she woke up to the sounds of tapping on the roof. The boyfriend still had not returned. She unlocked the door and found her boyfriend hanging above the car. She ran off to get the police, who had not solved the mystery to this day.
Now, why wouldn't they go get her?
Police?
No, the person who hung
They couldn't get in the car. The car was locked, idiot.
Yeah, she locked the door.
Jesus, if you lock your car doors, the spooks can't get you.
Yeah.
So there's also an old cemetery on this road. And this is interesting. It's supposedly there's two headstones that were a couple who were so in love that even in death they couldn't be kept apart.
Wow.
So the headstones would lean towards each other, which headstones lean in old cemeteries. That's just what happens.
Shh, it's romantic.
Okay. So on nights of a full moon, the graves come together and touch, and the ghosts come out and dance around the grave.
Yo.
Naked lovers dancing around the graves.
That's neat.
Okay.
They say she's got big boobs. I don't know.
You guys think I'm weird for believing in my alien shit.
I don't. I
don't think it's weird.
He's the one who's over here trying to tell me that UFOs aren't really UFOs.
They are UFOs. Okay. They're unidentified flying objects. It does not necessarily mean they are alien.
We get what you're saying, Mike.
What are you doing with all those little stickers there, buddy? So I ordered stickers for the podcast, and this
look at these things.
Is the size sticker I got.
This is the size of my thumbnail.
I won't say the name of the company because part of this is my fault. The other part is not. But they did send me a 20% off if I wanted to reorder.
Why would you want a sticker that small?
I have stickers that small.
Yeah, but you got yours free.
No, I didn't.
I thought yours were like free or like $5 or a sample pack or something.
Yeah, it was probably like $5 for all of them together, but...
Well, these were like $20-some.
You only got like 10,000 of them.
125.
I took a huge handful of them already.
I got a huge stack.
Yeah.
I might put one on my headphones. I don't know, but I might wait till I get the bigger ones. Because I'm going to order bigger ones. I like the stickers. I know you like stickers. That's why I got them.
I like stickers.
I'm a sticker junkie.
Me too.
As you can see by his headphones. And I have my pinup sticker on there. There's some more KKK in this one.
Right. I'll take this one.
Yeah, because I want to do the even though the Mount Airy Lodge one is not really spooky, spiritual.
Is there more after this?
What's that?
Is there more after this? How spooky is Pennsylvania, goddammit?
Well, actually, it's a whole shitload. I only did 4.
Really?
So this is Devil's Road and Cult House.
This is number 3?
Yeah.
Devil's Road and the Cult House.
This is 4. The 5th one was the Mount Airy Lodge, which really is it's just an oddity.
All right, so Concert Road is in Chadds Ford on the Delaware border.
Now that's down by where you grew up, Chadds Ford.
Yeah, Chadds Ford is like sort of like the Philly area, like right out to the.
Isn't Chester near the Philly area?
Yeah, but Chadds Ford is, I think, closer to Philly. It's like I always remember it as like the Ritchie area.
I know they always mention Chadds Ford on the Philly stations.
Yeah, like I associate Chadds Ford with like people, rich people. So whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. Maybe it was that way back in the day.
It might still be. Who knows?
But it's Chadds Ford.
I ain't never been there.
It is also known as Devil's Road.
The Devil's Road.
The trees bend.
It's supposed to be bend?
Bend? Okay, that's what I thought. In an eerie and frightening kind of way, and has a scary history. This is a mansion in the woods.
It's supposed to be there.
there is a mansion in the woods known as the Colt House, which used to be owned and operated by the wealthy DuPont family.
Now these people, like, the more I look into DuPonts, they are some weird motherfuckers.
Yeah, I think my mom used to work for DuPont. Or was that Remington? I want to say DuPont. She had something to do with she was a receptionist at a gunpowder something factory.
They might make gunpowder. I know they make paint. They make glass. They make.
Well, there was
plastics.
a famous movie with the DuPonts with the wrestling.
Yeah,
and
this is the house.
Yeah, the big mansion. So.
So you see what they did there to keep the money in the family? They'd marry their cousins.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
They'd marry their cousins so the wealth would stay in the family. And you marry your cousin, you got a lot in common with them, like uncles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All your family members. The wedding is real small.
And then your offspring starts to look a little weird.
It's just close family.
Others say that the home was, that it was a home to Satanists and KKK members.
There you go with the Ku Klux Klan again.
The natural wonders around the property are the most unusual thing. Trees that line the road lean away from the road and away from the house, dramatically away from the house.
Here, I could pull up a picture of the trees.
Me.
That's weird.
It looks like they're just growing on the hillside.
Yeah, but maybe they were pruned that way. That's a weird looking tree.
That's one of the skull trees, which you didn't get to yet.
Maybe they were just cut that way, Mike.
They were not cut. They specifically say none of them were cut. That's how they naturally grow. And the farther you get away from the house, the straighter the trees are.
Ghosts.
Could be a magnetic field.
Well, there you go. The farther you get away from the house, the straighter and more natural the trees grow. Other trees that stand around on the house are known as skull trees.
Well, hold on. These trees will grow away from the sun, even. Which I don't understand.
Which is weird, because usually plants grow towards the sun.
Right. So
plants, trees, whatever.
But the sun moves across the sky, so.
I guess
because the Earth is round.
I guess what
is it?
I guess what it's saying is that the trees don't go straight up.
Yeah, but there's only if you put a plant in a window or plant it somewhere, there's only a certain amount of hours that it has sunlight from the one angle.
Yeah, but these are outside. They're not planted in a window.
Yeah, no, I know that.
But just the way they grow is weird. Anyway, skull trees.
Other trees that stand out around the house are known as skull trees. School trees. Rumor has it that the DuPont members of the Cult House would use the trees for dumping babies who were born disabled. Over time, skull trees would devour their bodies fully and take the shape of the child's skull. Where in the fuck did you get this information?
This is, I can put my sources. I'm not going to give them to you, though. I don't like your attitude.
I'm just saying, wow, this is
That's supposedly a skull tree. I do see a skull. Nose.
Come on, it's a fucking tree.
I think people's eyes see what they want to see.
Yeah, you can see shit in the clouds, too.
Well, that means it's there. If you see an elephant in the clouds, it's really an elephant flying up there.
No, it means that our brains want to see patterns and things. It's the way the human brain is. If it sees something, it's going to try to make something familiar out of it.
Right. One local told this story. Quote, "There was a light waving around and shining on the trees, but it was far away. I stopped my car and looked into the woods, and as soon as I stopped, it went off. A few seconds later, it started back up, and it would shine just like SOS. 3 short, 3 long, and 3 short again. I have no service this whole time either. I was pretty freaked out, so I started driving very slowly, and as soon as I started to pull off, I saw a huge flame shoot up in the trees and heard a shrieking scream. I don't know exactly what I saw, but to me, I think they were literally lighting someone on fire.
Okay, I'm going to tell you
drove right home.
I'm going to tell you what she saw.
Quote.
Whoever this was saw some kids in the woods, fucking with them,
shooting some Roman candles,
or bottle rockets.
Yep. I mean, I used to do that all the time, shooting Roman candles.
Oh yeah,
we can get those things easily. Yeah,
I don't find this one as spooky, but they made a big deal about it.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing here. Trees growing funny.
It's just that
I would have to go visit this place to see.
Well, we could. It's not that far. We could make a road trip.
We could. I think we should. We should, like... I would like to really go to one of those old rundown prisons that are abandoned. Like, there's like what do they call them?
What about Eastern State? What Eastern State?
Been there.
Yeah, you can go there, but I don't think they let you like really walk around and.
There's a guy I watched on YouTube, but he's a photographer, and he finds abandoned places, and he does photo shoots there. So what he'll do is he'll do his YouTube channel on scouting these places out.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, he'll show you the results of the photo shoot, and like the photos are cool, they're okay, but going through he went through an abandoned building in Philly, like a huge abandoned thing.
Yeah.
And like part of the stairs were crumbling away. So he's got to jump fences and shit to get in.
Yeah, that seems really cool.
And it sounded from like the one I was watching.
Probably all illegal.
It sounded like he must have got caught recently and had to pay a fine.
Yeah.
And he said, well, it looks like someone has jumped over this fence before. There's a carpet over it. He goes, but I'm just not in a position to do that right now. Like, I think he didn't want to have to pay another fine. I think that's what it was.
Which, I mean, makes sense.
But there's a YouTube video or videos I was watching, and the guy was going around abandoned Detroit and going to school. I mean, there are so many abandoned buildings in Detroit. It's
ridiculous.
Astronomical.
It's ridiculous.
Like 50, 60 schools. Like and they're all beautiful. They're all old school, like architecture, but most of them have cameras in them and they'll catch you. And he said before all this shit started happening, like you could just walk in there and like it wouldn't be a problem. But now you'll get caught. And he went to a police precinct, and they still had like rape evidence kits. There was like
you were telling me this.
Yeah, it was really. And I was like, holy shit! Like bloody knives and guns and bullets, and all the guns and shit were all rusted up, probably not functional anymore. But still, like, and duty belts hanging on the wall, like.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
Just unbelievable.
So this last one's really just an abandoned place. It's not really. I don't think there's really a spooky story to it. It caught my eye because I remember growing up in this area. Like, if you were from this area or where I grew up, your TV stations came from New York and Philly, and the Poconos was a big deal back then, like a huge deal. So there were all these resorts up there, and Mount Airy Lodge was like supposedly the pinnacle of resorts. And you'd always see these commercials for the Mount Airy Lodge, like I can hear them playing in my head, and they would show the heart-shaped tubs. Yeah. And they do wedding packages where you would all you need to do is bring your marriage certificate, your marriage license, and they'd have a priest there, and they set up these arches, and they do these big spiels.
Yo, we should go.
I remember seeing something.
Me and Michael, we were recently married.
Yeah, the ghosts will come out.
Tub.
The ghosts will come out and let you in.
When Deb and I got married, our honeymoon was up in the Poconos. We went to Mount Airy Lodge is one of the places that I looked at.
No shit.
Yeah. And I decided not to go there because there was some bad reviews. Because what happened was, the story is this Wagner, who was the majority owner of Mount Airy Lodge.
Yeah,
he immigrated from Czechoslovakia to the United States. He was sponsored because back then you couldn't just come across the border; it wasn't cool. You had to be sponsored by someone. You had to have a reason to be here.
Yeah.
So his aunt and uncle sponsored him, and they owned the Mount Airy Lodge. Now Wagner in Czechoslovakia had been a hotel owner since he was 17 years old. So there was no question that he was going to work for them at the lodge. And over time, what year did he immigrate here?
1999.
The 60s.
I just read the first number I could see on there.
No, 1999 is when it shut down. I remember it shutting down. So in the 60s, he won the Ellis Island Medal of Honor because he was bringing plane loads of immigrants here to work at Mount Airy Lodge. Like, it was the biggest employer in the area up there.
Yeah.
So he had to be there in the 40s or 50s. He was 77 in 99. So, anyway, he started working there. The hotel, the resort grew. It grew so big that there were two other properties there, the Stricklands and what was the other one? Pocono Gardens Inn. Also, both that I remember the commercials growing up. I remember hearing the commercials for these places because, you know, we're just south of the Poconos.
Yeah.
But the New York stations would really hammer the Poconos for all these people, and they had the heart-shaped tubs. And Deb and I, when we got married, we went to Pocono Place, one of them. But they had the big champagne glass bathtubs. You ever see them, Johnny? No, you ever saw that?
What do they look like?
It looks like a big champagne glass.
No.
I'll look one up.
Well, maybe I have. I don't know. Your description is eluding me.
Just a bath that looks like a big champagne glass. What else do you want him to say?
I can't remember what a champagne glass looks like.
Oh my god. Are you kidding me?
It's like a thin flute? I don't know. I don't drink champagne.
You're a dick.
Oh, that?
No.
These. Oh, it's like martini glass, bro.
It's a champagne glass.
It looks more like a martini glass.
We had a tub like that in our room. Big one. But
I have never seen the champagne glass tub. That's crazy. How do you get out of that thing?
Actually, I think we might have had the champagne glass and
like jump down and
a heart-shaped jacuzzi like that.
Hang on a minute, I'll be right back. Oh, my leg!
Well, no, there's stairs going up to it. Anyway.
Yeah, try navigating that half drunk.
I did. I have.
Fully drunk.
As a matter of fact.
So like all these places up there, like you paid one price, all your meals were included, everything was included.
Yeah, so it's like a we all know the Poconos. It's a getaway. It's probably ruined now.
Well, what happened was is
a ski resort.
I think
Lover's Lane.
They've been trying to get slot machines and gambling in Pennsylvania for years, and it just happened in the last few years.
I don't know about that, man. No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I said I don't agree with that.
What?
The slot machine? Why the fuck do we need that here?
We don't. But it's going to lower our property taxes, which it didn't. But that's political. We don't do that. Anyway, so in the 70s, Atlantic City became huge. Well, everybody expected the Poconos to get gambling up there, too. And I think a lot of these resorts were gearing themselves towards that time. So as soon as it happened, they could fill them things up with slot machines and tables. Because some of these places, the banquet halls were freaking huge.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I think that's what he wanted to do up there. But so he was known as a marketing guy, and he would use big words and exaggerate everything. Like if they talked about
Chimbley,
if someone called and says, what about the snow? Well, the snow is beautiful. When the snow is here, it's beautiful, but it's like 60 degrees outside and there's no snow. Like, so it is beautiful when it snows in the Poconos, but there'd be no snow on the ground at the time. Or they would ask, about the food, and they would make Epicurean delights. Like, so they'd use a big word to describe the food there.
Yeah.
So they bought these other properties. So he started growing. He was really sinking a lot of money into expansion. But they said by the time the 90s rolled around, there were people complaining about dirty sheets, bugs in the rooms. Ugh. The pool had bugs and leaves in it. The food quality was declining. And by 1999, he owed $46 million to over 400 creditors.
He really fucked that up.
Well, it just, the economy did it. Like, you go through the 70s. And
I don't know, Michael. Was it the economy or the bugs in your bed? at your pool.
Well,
at your shitty ass food.
Not putting money back into the business is part of it because he was expanding into these other resorts. So he was putting money there.
Look, get your shit together. Get your first resort in control.
Fix your first one, and then you can have another.
Yeah. And my friend, do you think they would mind cockroaches in their food?
You don't think cockroach count as food?
Yeah.
You think that's
extra protein? No big deal.
Extra food. It's delightful.
It's delightful.
So, he realized after being in a resort, after working at the resort for 60 years.
Yeah, 60 years, and he fucked this all up?
In the hotel business in general. So since he was 17, he's worked in... He realized that this place is going to be taken from him. He's going to lose everything. So he kills himself. So before he kills himself, he hands off all the his ownership stake to this Hannah Danko. And right after he dies, right after his funeral, they go to Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And then right after that, they sheriff sale everything. And I had a story on a different website of someone who was at the sheriff sale.
Yeah.
Where they were selling the bathtubs, the big heart-shaped bathtubs.
I remember that story.
Oh my God. Yeah. And they said it still had the caulking around the edge of the back because it just
we should have one down here.
That'd be cool, right over there.
A jacuzzi, a heart-shaped jacuzzi. Yeah.
And supposedly, one of the daughter of the designer who did the one special room was being like belligerent at the sale because things were going for $100 or $500, and it was like a $10,000 item.
Yeah.
And she was bitching about it. That cost $10,000 to make.
Sorry, honey, your pop owes $46 million.
$1 million. Love those movies.
So, well, that wasn't really a spooky story.
Crappy little heart tub that was fetching 60 grand in
I've seen
the
videos,
70s.
I've seen videos of people like going in here and doing like essentially trespassing, like, but looking at this stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure there's like I don't remember if it was this one or another one, but there's like a giant pool outside, and they were like going down to like the pool, and there's like disgusting, gross, stagnant water, and like there's still stuff sitting in it. Like, there's just like literally
like beach chairs.
Yeah, literally just up and left this place.
Yeah, it's like an abandoned ghost town.
It is, but like actually seeing like the rooms and stuff is so weird.
I'll tell you this, John. I could get in the car right now and drive you to the Poconos without using my GPS. Get to this place.
Yeah,
I know right where it is.
And then murder me, and then
no one will find you because I throw you in that nasty pool.
Yeah, you dissolve just like the plane. You would dissolve in 3 feet of water.
He was 20 foot wide, and the river was only 12. Why can't we find him?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it'd be like.
It doesn't make any sense.
That's what our next podcast topic is. How did we lose John in 3 feet of water?
Help me! I can't swim! I can't swim!
Hold on, I'll help you. I'll put my foot in your back.
It just sounds like this guy bit off more than he could chew. Like if he would have just ran this one building.
Well, like, it's not that he bit off more than he could chew. He just didn't take care of it.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, he tried to expand, and he probably couldn't pay his.
Right.
They said the food was so bad at the end that people who got the all-inclusive packages would go someplace else to eat.
Yeah.
Ugh. I can't even imagine. It's probably just.
Yeah.
But it's not really spooky, but the decline of something that I remember as a child.
Yeah, it's like weird.
It is. It's really weird to see that. I never knew what happened. I knew they closed. I thought it just got to their end.
Anything you see that's run down,
it's
like
creepy.
even on the way over here, the road. I won't mention the road, but the road that I take over to your house, there's at least like 3 or 4 abandoned houses.
Oh yeah.
And I always slow down and I'm looking. I'm like, man, I would love to like take pictures of this, but I don't want to get shot.
Our podcast therapy dog's on the table.
Oh, did that scare you? Oh, he's like,
I show you my ass, John. My ass.
I swear, every time I pick him up, he like shoots me with his red rocket.
Yeah, he loves you.
It's like, why is my hand all wet now?
What's a red rocket, John? I don't know what you speak of.
He's the cutest boy. I love him. He's so sweet, you know.
He's gonna pee on your phone. So anyway, that's our show for today.
Yeah, I think that was a good episode. We should do like all 50 states.
Well, there's
like a state.
there is a website that is Spooky US or something like that.
Yeah.
And they cover stuff in every state.
Yeah. I think that'd be fun.
Oh wow. What's that? An hour and 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes worth of messing around at the beginning.
Yeah, John had to mess around for 10 minutes.
You know how he is.
I know.
Shut up! I was early this morning.
You were early, and you didn't eat before we started.
Yeah.
I worked so hard.
Angry.
I worked so hard on that sticky chicken, and you didn't even eat it.
It was delicious. John wouldn't know he's rude.
Like your coleslaw.
I can't hear you because you're like 6 miles from your microphone.
I said I'm glad you like the coleslaw.
Oh, the coleslaw was awesome, dude. I'm gonna take a piece of that chicken and wrap it up and take it down to Eileen then.
Yeah.
So, with that, we are completed for this week, and hope you join us again soon.
We are complete.
Okay.
Don't forget to
Little doggy.
Little dog.
leave a comment, like, subscribe. I don't want to tell you what to do. If you do it, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool too. Whatever. Check out the beer reviews.
Yes.
And soon to come, John's gear reviews.
Yes.
And if Lexi decides to review something, then check out Lexi reviews.
Maybe I'll review D&D stuff.
I figured you might.
Like, they come out with this thing called Unearthed Arcana every couple months.
Hold it.
Nerd alert. The Unearthed Arcana is like expansions, like playtest material, but it's like official from Wizards of the Coast. So they'll put out this playtest material, and things that get really good feedbacks will come out in like the next book that's released, like the next expansion. So
Wow.
yeah, pretty neat.
I feel like I need to push my glasses up already.
You should do a review.
I should.
You should.
I've actually used a lot of playtest material, so I've used a lot of the UA material before it was published.
And if anybody out there is involved in D&D, that would help them.
Yeah.
I think though, Michael, some of my knife reviews and gear reviews might have to go outside.
Why?
Like
You gonna throw them?
Yeah, I gotta test them, bro.
You're killing my dog.
You gotta throw them?
He's got to stab someone.
You can stab me if you really want to.
We have to chop a piece of wood in half.
With the machete.
We got a whole stack of wood here, brah.
Yeah, you could chop.
Brah, chop
Look
away.
at that little dog. He's just falling asleep in your arms.
We'll bring beer with us. You'll be fine.
Okay, I'm good. All right. As long as we're not both in the fridge.
Bring beer. I'll load my pockets up with chicken wings.
Okay, and with that insult, we're going to end this week and go take on the world. Hold on, stop.
Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Okay, boomer.
Damn millennials. Wow.
Did not know that. Even flirters who are obviously mentally ill.
Oh, this is gonna go downhill real quick.